Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Andrew Fay, and I am the Executive Director of the Ottawa School of Art. It is a pleasure to see so many of you here today, including our distinguished guest artist, Kendall Ayoub-Nichols, and our very special guest, Colonel Christopher Hadfield. As many of you know, last year marked the 145th anniversary of the Ottawa School of Art. To celebrate this incredible milestone, we held a special portrait competition for OSA members. The prize, a $5,000 commission to create the portrait of Canadian icon, Colonel Hadfield. From an impressive pool of 88 talented contestants, Kendall emerged as the clear winner, capturing the jury's admiration with her exceptional vision and artistry. In June, Kendall had the opportunity to meet with Colonel Christopher Hadfield and his family, gathering inspiration and reference materials to inform her work. Over the past few months, she has created a remarkable portrait, and today we are thrilled to unveil the finished piece. This project's success would not have been possible without the incredible efforts of many individuals and organizations. I want to extend our heartfelt gratitude to BrokerLink for their generous sponsorship, the dedicated organizing committee, all the talented contest participants, the expert jurors, the hardworking OSA staff, particularly Tammy Coles and Claire Windmill, the exceptional artistry of Kendall Ayoub-Nichols, and of course, the gracious cooperation of Colonel Hadfield and his team. Thank you all for being here to share in this wonderful occasion. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce Shirley Yick, President of the Ottawa School of Art's Board of Directors, to say a few words.
Thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. Today, we gather to celebrate human creativity and accomplishment as we unveiled a remarkable portrait of Colonel Christopher Hadfield, painted by Kendall Ayoub-Nichols. Colonel Hadfield was the first Canadian to walk in space and the first Canadian to command the International Space Station. His captivating bass video, including his brilliant rendition of David Bowie's song, Space Oddity, has acquainted millions of people worldwide with the nature of space exploration. With this portrait commission, we honor not only Colonel Hadfield's groundbreaking accomplishments, but also the spirit of innovation and collaboration he embodies. The portrait we are about to see is the creation of Kendall Ayoub-Nichols, an artist who has been documenting contemporary culture through representational portrait painting for over 3 decades. Her dedication to her craft has led to numerous accolades and commissions, a testament to her exceptional skill and artistic vision. The portrait was commissioned by the Ottawa School of Art. At the school, we nurture creativity and encourage students to stretch boundaries, experiment boldly, and express themselves authentically through art. We provide structured paths for students to explore techniques, hone their craft, and develop their unique creative voices. When we witness excellence in human achievement, whether in space exploration or artistic expressions, we are reminded of humanity's extraordinary potential. Such moments expand our perspectives and inspire us to imagine what we can accomplish. Colonel Hadfield, thank you for graciously agreeing to be the subject of this commission and for being with us today. Kendall, our congratulations and appreciation for your talent and dedication. To our supporters, thank you for making this project possible and helping to make Ottawa a better place. Now it's my pleasure to invite Kendall Ayoub-Nichols to say a few words about her work before the portrait is unveiled.
Thank you very much, Shirley, and thank you to the Ottawa School of Art, everybody involved in making this competition happen, and a huge thank you to Colonel Chris Hadfield for meeting with me, agreeing to do this. The experience of meeting you and your wife, Helena, and your family at your cottage was very, very special. Provided a really unique experience for me to get to know you. You were super generous with your time, and I just really, really appreciated it. And I loved working on this portrait. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Kendall. It's good to see your face again. I really enjoyed our time together, but I'm super excited about seeing what the fruit of your labor is here. Um, I don't know how it feels to everyone else, but you sort of uh, just go about the daily business of your own life, and you have your own dreams and the things that you're hoping to accomplish, and hardly anything goes according to plan. But incrementally, whether you mean to or not, you end up writing the story of your own life. And so it is such a huge privilege to be able to meet with someone like Kendall, who is then going to sort of look at your life through a different lens and to try and think about it maybe from an external perspective. And then to try and capture that, which is really what portraiture is all about, whether it's a biography of someone or a sculpture of them. I mean, think of some of the great sculptures in history, how they weren't done by that person, but yet they help embody and bring to life the story of that person's existence. And so to me, it was just a wonderful moment in time to be able to sit together in a place that I love and talk about things and try and maybe share enough ideas with you that that you could do what you're so good at and try and help you then be as expressive as possible. So I'm delighted to be part of this, and I also want to thank the Ottawa School of Art for enabling all of this to happen. Um, and yeah, I'm excited to and maybe a little bit nervous to see what your end product is.
Well, the wait is over. So if we imagine a drum roll, and let's see the portrait.
Oh,
There
wow.
we are. Let's take a few minutes to look at it and think about what we're seeing.
Wow.
The size of it is 32 inches by 40 inches, so it's a little bit bigger than life size. Yeah, I just think that might help people when seeing it.
Yeah, so for the people that don't know, this is on the front porch of my cottage. My cottage was built originally in 1896, so whatever that is, 130-year-old cottage. It's on an island um, in the St. Clair River down on the Michigan border. Great big river, the river that feeds in between Lake Huron and into Lake Erie. So a gigantic river flowing past. And it's the island that I first went to when I was 2 years old, when my parents bought a cottage there. And then it's the island that I was on in the summer of 1969 when I saw the first two people walk on the moon, which very much set the path for my whole life of inspiration and possibility. And then it's the island where my wife and I bought this cottage a couple of decades ago. And of all the places I've been, in the 100 countries traveled to, and the many countries I've lived in, and even living off of the planet 3 different times for half a year, this is where I would rather be. That particular chair on that porch in that place, and I love the sense of contentment and place that you've put into this portrait. It really captures, I think, a feeling of me in that place, but also me at this particular moment in life, looking back and looking forwards. Yeah, it's lovely and beautifully done, and I'm happy to be slightly bigger than life.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. And I'm so happy to hear your comments about it because for me, when I went, I wanted to capture you in this space and meeting you and your wife, Helena, and just learning how special this spot is for you. I really just wanted to to capture that, knowing that this painting is going to be a part of your own personal collection. I wanted it to reflect a place that you love, and I really got that sense when I met with you. Just getting a feeling for how important this place is for you. So that was my goal in this. I took, over 100 photographs. But I felt near the end of originally I thought I was going to do a painting of you sitting on the deck outside, which is another one of your favorite places you had mentioned. But Helena had said to me when we were chatting near the end in this spot, she had mentioned this chair is where Chris sits and this is where he practically lives. And so I just was really happy when I was going through my photographs to find one where I felt that I was able to sort of capture your strength and your warmth in a place that you love. So I'm happy to hear that you enjoy that is captured there. So thank you.
It's great. Thank you very much. I love it. Boy, it's technically just beautiful as well. I mean, I'm just looking at a small version of it on a screen, but your skill comes shining through. So that's wonderful. It's not a snapshot in time. It's more like almost a three-dimensional capturing of the feel of the place and the time, which is very difficult to accomplish. So I'm delighted to see it there in front of us all.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me because that's what I work for, is to try and capture the mood and the feeling, but over a period of time. Like it's not just a snapshot. It's part of and because you were so generous with your time, I really felt that I had the opportunity to get a sense of what this place meant to you. And so I really wanted to really capture that in the painting. So I'm so happy to hear you say that. Thank you. It's a true honor. Thanks.
And I think like all really great portraits, it's not just a surface representation. You're really getting the feeling that you're learning something about who Colonel Hadfield is. And I've got to mention the detail on the hands is incredible. That's always the sign of a great and courageous artist who can render hands so deftly. But it's such a beautiful painting. We do have time for some of the viewers have sent in some questions to ask, and we'll start with Colonel Hadfield. What does it mean to you personally to have your legacy represented through art in this way? And how does this portrait compare to other ways your career or achievements have been commemorated?
Well, I'm a great lover and student of history. And one Christmas, my family and I decided we would go to the south of France. And beautiful historic place. People have lived there for, 100,000 years, just north of the Pyrenees. It's a beautiful, naturally civilized part of the world. And as part of that tour, we got to go into one of the caves where the climate conditions are just right, that paintings such as this one, where an artist of the time, amongst all of the other things that they could have been doing, they put paintings on the wall of a cave. And think about that. That was back before there was a way to carry light with you. It would have been done by candlelight of some sort of animal fat or something, or maybe reflected light deep into the cave. And yet they made a work of art, portraiture of the life around them, themselves and animals and such. And if they had just written some words, or if even they had just tried to express it any other way, it would have been. But the fact that they had taken the time with the best of their artistic skill to put something on the wall so that 25,000 years later, I could walk in and feel so much greater connection across the enormous gap of time. With who those people were and what they were thinking and what their life was like and what they valued and what was important. And so the science is important, the technology is important, but to me, art is our deepest passion and the thing that lasts. And so I greatly value how we have recorded history through art, whether it's the early sculptures or the early musical instruments. We found 40,000-year-old musical instruments. To me, that is our greatest long-term legacy of the fundamental nature of humanity itself. And so to have a very deftly created portrait of myself, to me, obviously, I'm just another person who happens to be alive at this moment in human history. But I also feel that that linkage with all of the artistry that's happened in the past and the fundamental complex nature of being alive and being a human being, and how it is that we share it with each other. So yeah, I'm delighted for the place and the meaning of this painting.
Well, thank you. And we have a question for Kendall. What was the most challenging aspect of capturing Colonel Hadfield's story and personality in this portrait?
Well, I think for me, I really wanted to avoid sort of we all know that Colonel Chris Hadfield is a very accomplished human being, and I wanted to avoid having him in a spacesuit, like I think that could have been something that could have been a great portrait to do. But because of the special circumstances of being invited to his cottage, meeting his family, having the time to get to know how special this place is for him, I really wanted to just try and capture him the way that I actually love doing paintings of people, which is in their element. One of the questions that Chris asked me when we were there, he said, "What do you want me to wear?" He's so used to doing, photo shoots and everything, and presentations and lectures and everything, that he was asking me, what do I, and I said, well, what would you be wearing while you're here? And he's like, well, I live in my t-shirt and my jeans. And I was like, perfect. Then that's what I'd like. I really want to capture that. And I love, Chris, that you've been talking about just our connection to humanity. And for me, it was really important with this painting to transmit your humanity, that you are, like all of us, human. I mean, extremely accomplished, but that it's within us to accomplish different things. And I wanted to show your humanity. I wanted people to feel that they could sit down with you and feel your warmth, but also your strength and your accomplishments. So I think the biggest challenge was trying to get that across, but I'm happy with the way the painting turned out. And I think a big reason for that is how generous you were with your time and your dedication to service to others and to this project, that it allowed me to feel that could come through. And I hope it did. So yeah, thank you.
I think you were successful. It's an incredible portrait. We have time for one more question, and it's for Colonel Hadfield, and it's a big question, so we'll see how you want to answer it. How do you perceive the connection between art and science, particularly in the context of your experiences as an astronaut? Additionally, how have your creative pursuits, such as music, photography, and writing, complemented or influenced your scientific work, and vice versa?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Art and science don't know that they're in different categories. That's a weird human construct that we've decided to put them in different parts of the newspaper or different parts of our brains. But there is incredible, intricate beauty in the science and understanding of the universe around us. And maybe one of the greatest examples of scientific and technical achievement is to be one of the few human beings that has lived on board a spaceship, on board the International Space Station. It is a completely human-invented technical structure that allows us to live in that place. And you could view it entirely through that lens. But when you get there, what really overwhelms you is the beauty of the place, the magic of weightlessness itself, and the fact that when you float in that weightlessness to the window, the bottomless generosity of the gorgeous beauty of our planet itself is constantly pouring by. And I have tried to float to the window of the spaceship and say to myself, this time I'm not going to take pictures. I'm just going to look. But it overwhelms your ability to see. There is just so much richness in nature around us that your hand just grabs the camera because it's going to take more time than you have in order to actually see what you've been looking at. And so I took whatever, 45,000 pictures over my 3 space flights, and I have the rest of my life to try and see the artistry that's there. And I just thought it was so much of my job as one of the very lucky human beings that gets to live on board and command a spaceship to not just absorb it and keep it to myself, but find all the different ways that I could to share it. And that's why I write books. It's why I agree to sit for portraits from artists of tremendous skill. And it's why I take those pictures and why I write music. It's just using the freedom and the nuance of art in order to try and better share the experience with other people, but I think fundamentally to try and better explain it to myself so that I can more completely understand it. Art is absolutely necessary. It's why we have musical instruments on the space station, because as human beings, it's absolutely necessary for our psychological well-being, but also just for us to be able to truly capture the magnificence of the experience of being alive, especially in a wondrous place like that. So yeah, I've been hugely lucky. I have great respect for the necessity and the depth of art, and I am delighted that the Ottawa School of Art put together this, and that Kendall had a chance to put this painting before all of us. So thanks to everybody, and congratulations to Kendall specifically.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris. I really can't thank you enough for giving me the opportunity to meet you and to get to know you and to produce this painting for you. And thank you so much to the Ottawa School of Art for making this happen. It's such a great opportunity as a figurative artist to get the opportunity to produce work such as this and share it with people. And I just hope that it is inspiring for those that are here today and for people that get to see it. I think it's going to be on display, Andrew, for the next couple of weeks in Ottawa, which is nice.
Well, listen, thank you to both of you. This has been a truly wonderful occasion. Thank you, Shirley, Kendall, and Colonel Hadfield for your participation. It's been a really interesting discussion, and it's been terrific to speak with you all. On behalf of the Ottawa School of Art, thank you to everyone for being here today, and happy painting, everyone, or happy creating. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thanks
you so
very
much.
much. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.